Hey guys, welcome to our Lost Artistry Lash YouTube channel. My name's Caitlin. I'm the owner here at Lost Artistry Lash if we haven't had a chance to meet each other yet. And today I'm gonna walk you through a mega volume tutorial. So I'm gonna walk you through start to finish, how I set up the lashes, how I create some fans, and I'm also gonna work with some pre-fans in there and go through some pretty advanced layering techniques as well. So I'm super excited to share that with you guys. And if you're new to our channel, please click the like button, click the subscribe button. It gives us all the love and really motivates us to bring way more educational videos. So be sure to do that and comment if you have any lash questions at all. Before I start lashing, I always assess my client's eye shape, natural lash tilt, natural lash curl, and of course, how many layers of lashes my client has. So when I do that, I just get my clients to open their eyes and look straight ahead. I find if they look to the left or look to the right, it can really compromise the mapping. So just make sure that the client's always looking straight ahead. And when we're looking, we're checking out eye shape. And in particular, the curvature of the crease of the eye. The crease of the eye, I find, makes a big difference in the shape that you choose because it's the one thing that we can really see no matter what. So if someone, say, has an awkward tilt of the crease of their eye or something, we may want to make the lashes longer or more curly or something just to balance that out and cover it up. But actually today, Sarah, my model, does not have anything to correct when it comes to the crease of her eyes. You can see it's a very nice sunset shape, which is exactly what we're going for. But Sarah has mentioned before that she would like for her eyes to look maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit more open. So today we're gonna work with an open eye mapping. And when I'm mapping her out, I just take a quick look at her eyes and see where we need to put our longest section, so our emphasis area. How big does that need to be? So sometimes in trainings, I do notice that when I show an open eye map, students will sometimes say, okay, well, I'll put my longest section right in the middle of the eye. And it can sometimes be a little bit too small, but in fact, when you are doing that open eye section, it does have to be quite a large section. So just keep that in mind. So today I'm gonna work with my longest length from here to here. Maybe even a little bit further. Make sure it's the same on either eye. And that's where I'm gonna put my longest length, so you can stay close. Sarah's actually sensitive to the light, so this is a good opportunity for me to quickly chat about that. So we are working with our Lost Artistry Lash LED light, and for filming purposes, we've already chatted that we have it on the highest setting because, of course, you can see much more. But if this were a regular appointment, I would turn my setting down. So that's a really nice thing about an adjustable LED light is you can change the settings from low, level 1, all the way up to level 5, which is its highest, which is what it's at today. So great for clients who have sensitivities and to avoid their eyes watering like Sarah's is right now. So that's a really good idea. You can always start them on the lowest setting while you're putting the pads on and getting them all set up, and then slowly throughout your service, move the lighting up. That way it gives them time to adjust to the lights. So now we've figured out where our longest lengths are going to be, and Sarah, today we're doing a mega volume set, but we're not doing the most dramatic mega volume set. We're gonna do a lighter mega volume set. So with any service, whether it be volume, classics, anything, you can always go extremely dark or you can go lighter. So yes, mega volume is going to be darker. So today I'm gonna be working with somewhere between 7D and 12D, just depending on the natural lash that I've isolated and how I feel fit for Sarah. But we're not going for extreme darkness, we're just going for a light mega volume finish. So I'm gonna walk you through how to do that. And I will be working with both ProFan and handmade volume. Now, when I work with 0.03 diameter lashes, which I do for all my mega clients, I like to pinch the lashes, but you can also fan off the strip. You can do the side fan method. I'll walk you through at the end of this video. I'll walk you through how to pinch the lashes and how to fan off the strip for those 0.03 diameter lashes. And we're also gonna be working with, again, ProFan lashes. So I will be working with those 7 and 10D. We're gonna get a fluffy really open, wispy, but still dark result for Sarah's lashes today. And I do want them to be fairly uniform. Even though they are wispy, I still want a really nice line. So how I'm gonna do that is by working with layers. So let's come in and look at Sarah's lashes from the side. So when I'm checking to see how many lash layers my client has, I just use my finger and lift the lid and look from the side, just like you're doing right now. And Sarah has heaps and heaps of layers, a lot, like 5 to 6 layers, which is actually very uncommon. But on the inner and outer corner, she only has 1 layer. So it's really important to take that into consideration. And so if this were a regular lash appointment where I was, rushed for time or whatever, I had a time restriction, then I would really consider only doing the top layer and the bottom layer first. So I would complete the full top and full bottom layer, and then I would go through and with whatever time I had left, work on that middle layer. Because if I started from, let's say, the outer corner or the inner corner and worked 100%, it would take me hours to do all of these lashes. So to save myself some stress, I would do the top and bottom layer and just hope that I can get as many possible lashes in between. And that would just it would look stunning. It would look completely finished. Today, I do not have any time restrictions, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna set about a 4-hour timer and see how many lashes we can get. And I'll touch back and let you know if I was able to get all of the lashes or not. I'm gonna say I probably won't be able to because she has so many layers, but 4 hours is a bit of time for me, so we will see. And when it comes to curl of her natural lashes, they actually stand up a fair bit. She has a natural, what I would say to a natural high lift of her lashes, so I'm not worried about correcting any downward angles or anything like that. And Sarah already says, although she is okay with drama, she likes it, she doesn't really want them to be over the top. So I'm gonna work with just a C curl today. I think that would be our best bet. And then when it comes to lengths, we're going for that liner, that dark liner look. We're not so much going for really long lashes. So what I'm gonna do is in my emphasis area on that bottom layer, I'm gonna work with an 11 or 12. Because she has so many layers, I'm gonna just hold up a classic lash and see where a 12 millimeter would sit, but she has quite a few millimeters between her bottom layer and her top layer. So 12 will probably look more like a 9 on that top layer. So I'm thinking 12 is the length that I will go for on the bottom, and then, as I've said, 9 millimeters on that top layer. And we'll just adjust the lengths throughout to suit the layer that I'm working on. And the one thing I will note though, since we've already talked about how she only has 1 layer on the inner corner and the outer corner, I need to identify, if I want a really nice clean line, I want to identify where the lashes on those inner and outer corners sit. Do they sit with the bottom layer? Do they sit with the top layer? It makes a big difference if you notice where those lashes sit. And for Sarah today, on the outer corner, those lashes sit on the bottom and the middle layer. So I'll adjust my lengths accordingly. And then on the inner corner, they sit in line with the bottom and the middle layer as well. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust my lengths to make sure that it has a really nice sunset shape. So I'm gonna flow with whatever lengths I choose for that section. Remember how I chatted earlier about how Sarah has sensitive eyes? So another trick when you're putting eye pads on for someone who does have sensitive eyes like Sarah is just stay closed. So I'm gonna move her eye for her. So she's gonna stay closed, and I'm gonna show you how I put the pad on with her eyes closed. So I just lift her lid with my finger, pull the eye open like this. And this is actually very comfortable for clients, and you can do this during services too if the pads have moved. I'm gonna actually put the pad on with the eye closed and let it rest. Just gonna put this underneath our mask and check. That is a game changer for some clients. because if our clients start off the service with their eyes watering, it does seem to carry on throughout the service as well. So I find this so helpful. And I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna prime the lashes with, of course, our Lost Artistry Lash Primer. All the products I'm using today are gonna be Lost Artistry. I will run through a list of what I used at the end of the service because I find sometimes I switch things up while I'm lashing. So I'll walk you through that as well as a mapping as soon as we're done. So we're about halfway finished our set, and I have done just that top layer. And when I say that top layer, I also did the bottom layer on the outer and inner corner so that I could balance the set out and have my shape. So when I'm halfway done, when I'm done that top layer, I just like to check to make sure that my shape looks good from not only my viewpoint, but also the viewpoint of the client for when they open their eyes. And how I do that is use my Lost Artistry magnification mirror and just lift the lid like we did when we were looking for the layers and check out and see how that shape looks and if any lashes are looking wonky. And it's cool too because you can really see the work that needs to be done on the bottom layer when you do this. And you can see how incomplete a set would be without doing that bottom layer. So everything looks good. And I'll walk you through the lengths that I decided to do for that top layer. So I worked with 6mm on the inner corner, quickly going into 7mm and 8. My longest section is 9mm, and then back down to 8 and a couple 7s on that outer corner. And that is all I did lengthwise. And now I'm gonna go do the bottom layer. And as I've said, I believe I'm gonna use 12mm, but what I'm gonna do first is put a 12mm on that bottom layer and then lift the lid and see where it sits, because I want a really nice line. So I don't want it to sit too high and I don't want it to sit too low either. So I'm really trying to match up the length, that 9mm, with the bottom length to match the exact same length of the top. So I think 12mm is gonna work, but I will let you know once we're finished the set what I decided to do down there. And that's just a really nice tip for your client when you're working on them and doing this style of lash. You may eyeball it out and think, okay, well, 12mm looks like there's a couple millimeter difference, so it makes sense for it to be 12 or 11mm, but you really will know once you start working. So you can place one lash, it's no trouble to remove just one lash and then try a different length, or you can even just hold it up and see how it goes. But yeah, so that's what we did for the top, and I will touch back when we do the bottom layer and it's gonna be complete. But before I move on, I do wanna say that every piece of work that I've done so far, so all the fans that have been applied have been handmade volume fans. And when I'm moving forward, I'm gonna do the rest in Pro Fan. So we did half the set handmade, half the set Pro Fan, just to show you that it will look beautiful.